Please rise.
All right, you may all be seated. Thank you very much. We are on the record in case number 23 CP43, Burre versus Utt. Sir, you're Mr. Utt?
Yes, sir.
All right, I see both parties are represented by counsel today. Would counsel like to enter their appearance for the record?
Yes, Stephen Carlino for the petitioner, Scott Burre.
Natalia Malhan for petitioner Scott Burre as well.
All right.
Christopher Curley for the respondent, Mr. Utt.
All right, very good. So we are here today for a full hearing on a petition for a civil stock protection order. Mr. Carlino, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Curley, are you prepared to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Carlino, the burden is the petitioner, so you may call your first witness.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I'd like to call Scott Burre.
All right, sir, step up here. If you would please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right.
Okay. Sir, can you please state your name?
Scott Burre,
Okay. And Mr. Burre, what is your date of birth?
12375,
Mr. Burre, what county do you presently reside in?
Fairfield.
And Mr. Burre, what county do you presently work in?
Fairfield.
And Mr. Burre, what is your current occupation?
Principal,
Okay. And where are you the principal at?
Lancaster High School.
And how long have you been the principal at Lancaster High School?
7 years.
Okay. And where's the high school located?
Here in Lancaster, Fairfield County.
And sir, are you married?
Yes.
And what is your wife's name?
Christy Burre.
And is your wife currently employed?
Yes.
And who is she employed by?
Connect.
Okay. And what does she do?
Director of Strategic Planning.
Okay. Do you have knowledge of your wife's historical employment, Mr. Burre?
Yes.
Okay. And dating back to 2005, can you kind of walk the court through what your wife's historical employment has been?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevancy. This is not relevant to this case.
All right.
This is second order.
Overruled.
Okay. Go ahead.
2005 to 2009, supervisor, Fairfield County Job and Family. 2009 to 2013, supervisor, Franklin County Job and Family Services. 2013 to 2019, director of Job and Family Services here in Fairfield. 2019 to 2021, High Department Job and Family Services.
Sir, to your knowledge, with respect to her roles with Fairfield County, has she ever had any involvement with Mr. Utt?
Not to my knowledge.
And to your knowledge, has she ever had any involvement with Mr. Utt's children?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Sir, do you know Derek Utt?
I do from 20-ish years ago.
Okay. And how did you first come to know Derek Utt?
I was a football player on our varsity football team that I was assistant coach at.
Okay. And within the last year to 18 months, have there been events where Mr. Derek Utt has come to your attention?
Yes.
Okay. And can you tell us how Mr. Utt has recently, in the last year to 18 months, come to your attention?
Summer of 23, so last summer, started posting messages on social media, Facebook, regarding myself, my family, my wife.
Okay. And how did that come to your attention that those posts were happening?
Shared with us, told,
Okay.
saw ourselves.
Is that by other people in the community?
Yes.
Okay. And did you begin to monitor Mr. Utt's social media posts as a result?
We had.
Okay. And why did you begin to review his Facebook posts?
Extremely concerning of the things that were on there for us and our family.
Okay. And once that came to your attention, did you go back in time to review Facebook posts on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm gonna, Your Honor, may I approach with a exhibit?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna hand the exhibit to counsel. Your Honor, would you like a copy of the proposed exhibit?
Sure. Thank you.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Do you have the exhibit? Sir, I'm going to hand you what I marked as Exhibit 1. Can you take a look at Exhibit 1 and tell me if this is a Facebook post that you are familiar with and reviewed from Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And does the Facebook post talk about you or your family?
Yes, talks about me and my wife
Okay.
and son.
Okay. And specifically, what does it say about you and your family and your son?
That my wife is maliciously prosecuted Mr. Utt. Put his kids in foster care in retaliation. Speaking of my minor child.
Okay. And to your knowledge, is any of that true and accurate, that your wife had anything to do with Mr. Utt or his children?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. Can I have Exhibit 2? Your Honor, may I approach with proposed Exhibit 2?
Yes.
Sir, I'm handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 2. Can you please take a moment and review proposed Exhibit 2?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Burre, is this a Facebook post that you've seen and reviewed on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And does the Facebook post make reference to you, your wife, and or your family?
Yes.
Okay. And I don't need you to specifically state what it states, but what is the context, or what has Mr. Utt stated about you, your family, and your son?
Again, that my wife was in charge of maliciously prosecuting, putting his children in foster care for profit.
Okay. Adelia, 3.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Very, it's all in here.
Your Honor, may I approach with proposed Exhibit 3?
Yeah, you don't have to listen.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Burre, please take a moment and review Exhibit 3. Are you familiar with Exhibit 3?
Yes.
And is this a Facebook post that you had reviewed and seen on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the context of this Facebook post?
Context is a article of a, I believe, a domestic judge that was killed, murdered, and Mr. Utt referenced that not all heroes wear capes, in reference to somebody murdering a judge.
And what did you take? What context did you take from that post?
That he feels that my family, my wife particularly, is a part of his domestic situation, and very worrisome for us, the choice of violence and to reference violence to public officials.
Mr. Burre, I'm going to hand you what I mark as proposed Exhibit 4. Take a moment, take a look at that.
Yes.
Okay. And had you seen and reviewed these posts on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the content of the Facebook posts?
Seems that Mr. Utt is seeking justice against my family.
Okay. And do you have knowledge if the van in the post, whether or not that van belongs to Mr. Utt?
Yes,
Okay. You believe that to be Mr. Utt's van?
I believe so.
Okay. When the signs posted to Mr. Utt's van state "Justice for Burre Rapes," do you know what Mr. Utt means by "Justice for Burre Rapes"?
I do not know what that means. I don't know.
Okay.
It worries me that I don't know what that means.
Thank you. Sir, Chris?
Thank you.
Mr. Burre, please take a moment and look at what I marked as proposed Exhibit 5. Take a moment to review that.
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with that post? Had you reviewed that on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the context of the post?
Context is Mr. Utt continuing to put those signs for justice around town, and also advertising that Ditmar Sales is the place to buy guns and ammo.
Okay. And is there what's referred to in social media as a hashtag with your name in it?
Yes.
And what is the hashtag?
Justice for the Burre Rapes.
Around this time, did you contact the police?
Yes.
Do you recall when you first contacted the police? Do you recall the date?
This is November 16th,
Okay.
I believe, around that time.
So do you think it was after you saw this post?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you contact the police?
Became very worried for myself and my family, for our safety from Mr. Utt, as he had escalated into driving by my place of employment while I stand outside on duty after school.
I hand you what I marked as proposed Exhibit 6. Take a moment and review that exhibit.
Yes.
Okay. And is this a Facebook post from Mr. Utt's Facebook that you reviewed and have seen?
Yes.
Okay. And what significant did you take from the post?
The signs continue and now seem to have bullet holes in blood.
Okay. Is that what you perceived the red dots as bullet holes and blood?
Yes.
Handing what I marked as Exhibit proposed Exhibit 7. Take a look at that exhibit.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Burre, is this a Facebook post from Mr. Ott that you've seen and reviewed?
Yes.
Okay. And what was significant to you about this Facebook post?
The signs now posted, obviously outside, with the what seems to be bullet holes in blood, seeking justice for my family.
Okay. And at this point, Mr. Burre, what's the date on that Facebook post?
On November 18th,
Of?
2023.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 8. Can you take a look at Exhibit 8?
Yes.
Okay. And is this a Facebook post that you've seen and reviewed on Mr. Ott's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what's the date on this one?
November 18th, 2023.
Okay. And is there anything in the Facebook post that you noted that was concerning?
Again, continue of the same signs, seeking justice for my from my family, with bullet holes and blood.
Handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 9. Can you please take a moment and review that exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a Facebook post that you saw and reviewed on Mr. Ott's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what of note did you take from this particular Facebook post?
Releasing documents, the situation involving my minor son, of a case that was adjudicated and sealed through the courts. Also that continuing to claim that my wife was responsible for putting his kids in foster care.
He notes, don't forget Burre's mom works for Mike DeWine. Did your wife work for Mike DeWine at this time?
She did not.
Mr. Burre, I've handed you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 10. Can you identify what proposed Exhibit 10 is?
It's a picture of Mr. Ott driving by at my place of employment, dismissal time, where I usually stand at duty on 11/27/23.
Okay. Did you take this picture?
I did not take the picture.
Did somebody provide you with this picture?
Yes.
Okay. Was it somebody you work with?
Yes.
Okay. Are those notes at the top, are those your notes?
Yes.
Okay. Is that based on what that person had told you? Or-
Yes, in what we'd seen.
Okay. And then where Mr. Ott's van is that on Lancaster High School property?
It's on the road that comes into our property.
What did you do after that?
At that point, I made a police report at the advice of my superiors, and then started a process of applying a CPO.
Okay. And you did go ahead and file for a temporary CPO?
Yes.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 11. Are you familiar with proposed Exhibit 11?
Yes.
What is proposed Exhibit 11?
It's the victim impact statement that I prepared for the temporary CPO.
Okay. And was this submitted as part of that temporary CPO process?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the purpose of the impact statement?
Just to give some background to the magistrate why I was seeking a CPO.
Okay. And you have a statement in the first paragraph. Can you read that statement in the first paragraph?
The paragraph?
The first paragraph of the victim impact statement, yes.
Derek Utt has made 78 Facebook posts on his page about me and my family since November 2022, with the majority of those claiming justice is needed for a situation that my then 14-year-old son was involved with almost 2.5 years ago. This process was handled through the legal system in a very public manner. Derek continuously states that this was not handled correctly for a variety of reasons and was part of a cover-up. His statements contain many inaccuracies and falsehoods that push his own narrative and agenda. For this reason, he states he is taking justice in his own hands. This is what makes me fear for my safety, for the safety of my family and myself while at home, at work, and in the community.
Okay. As you sit here today, do you still believe that?
Absolutely.
Do you believe that even more as you sit here today?
Absolutely.
Okay. The rest of the victim impact statement with the dates, what do those dates and contents refer to?
Those dates refer to Facebook posts posted by Mr. Ed on his page on those dates.
Okay. And then in your impact statement, you have a closing statement, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you read that, please?
For the following reasons, I fear for my safety and the safety of my family. Derek Utt has been demonstrating obsessive behaviors with my family for over a year with over 70 posts on Facebook. He continues to publicly say he's seeking justice against my family. He blames my wife for his children being placed or sold into foster care. He wants me fired and will continue to drive by in close proximity to me at any chance he gets. He has stated that heroes shoot and kill public officials and shares where the best place to buy guns and ammo is in town. He shows a pattern of self-claiming to defy court orders and makes me and my family scared to think about what he will escalate to next as it relates to our safety and well-being. People throughout the community have shared their concerns for our safety in regards to his actions towards us and his conversations about us. As a principal in Lancaster High School in charge of the safety of 2,000 people daily, I ask that safety be provided for me while at work and my family while at home and in this community. My family is fearful to be in this community for fear of running into Derek Utt in public areas. In response to his actions, I have also sought counseling services due to his behaviors and claims against my family.
Okay. And this was submitted as part of you seeking the temporary CPO?
Yes.
Okay. As you sit here today, do you still believe what you stated in your impact statement?
Even more so.
Thank you. As a result of the temporary CPO hearing, did you receive a temporary CPO?
Yes.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was that temporary CPO provided by the court to Mr. Utt?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing you what's marked as Exhibit 12. Can you please review an Exhibit 12?
Yes.
Okay. And is this a post from Mr. Utt's Facebook that you reviewed?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the date on it?
December 6, 2023.
Okay, and so this is after you received in your favor the temporary CPO?
Yes.
Okay, and what context or what did you take from Mr. Utt's Facebook post on November 6th of 2023?
Claiming that he has armed his followers, his militia. He's ever jailed unlawfully, expect on protests. That obviously has access to guns, even though claims he's sold his gun. But those where those guns are.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing you what I've marked as proposed exhibit 13. Can you please review that exhibit?
Yes.
Okay. And is this a Facebook post that you had seen and reviewed on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what context did you take from the Facebook post?
That these signs will continue to be put up, continue seeking justice for my family with what appears to be bullet holes in blood.
On the sign that's posted on Mr. Utt's van?
Yes.
Okay, and what's the date on this post?
December 31st.
Okay. And I assume you believe this to be December 31, 2023?
Yes.
Okay. And this would have been after you obtained the temporary CPO?
Yes.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing you what I marked as proposed exhibit 14. Can you please review proposed exhibit 14?
Excuse me just a second. You can open that door and grab a chair out of the bailiff's office. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And is this a Facebook post that you reviewed and saw on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what was there anything of specific concern that you noted in this Facebook post?
Yes, that claims of me making a false report, claiming to have him arrested for aggravated assault, and then in the comment section, communicating with another individual that is essentially threatening my family as well.
Okay. There's a comment in response to the post where somebody stated, referring to you, let him try to cover it up with me and I'll end up catching a charge. That's the comment you're referring to?
Just let me get a hold of him. He'll definitely know then he's done effed up and allowed his son to, etc. Let him try to cover it up with me. I'll end up catching a charge.
And what does catching a charge mean to you?
To me, it means attacking, assaulting myself and my family.
Hand you what I marked as proposed exhibit 15. have you seen and reviewed proposed Exhibit 15 on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And did you see Mr. Utt outside in a Speedo bathing suit? And yeah, on or about January 17, holding a Justice for Burre rape sign.
I did not personally see him.
Okay. Did somebody tell you about it?
Yes.
Okay. And did you later see this post on social media?
Yes.
Mr. Burre, I'm going to hand you what I marked as proposed Exhibit 16. Take a moment, review that.
Yes.
Okay. Is this a Facebook post from Mr. Utt that you've seen and reviewed?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like this is posted to, there's a comment, LHS Roaches. Do you know what LHS Roaches is?
It's a Instagram account affiliated towards Lancaster High School.
Okay. Is that Lancaster High School students that are active on that Facebook account?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe this appears to be Mr. Utt is posting on that account?
I believe he was posting on that account and communicating.
Okay. With high school students?
Yes.
And is there any specific context that you took from this post?
The fact that if somebody's willing to stand out, and I remember correctly that day was 20 degrees or lower, in a Speedo, seeking justice for my family. I don't know what they're capable of doing besides that. That to me is pretty worrisome.
And proposed Exhibit 17, is that a photograph you've seen on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And again, does that appear to be Mr. Utt outside the courthouse?
Yes.
What is exhibit is the last one, please? This one here.
That was 17. 17. I give you.
I've already got that. Okay, you gave me the one for the judge. There you go. Here, you can have it.
Mr. Burre, what is proposed Exhibit 18?
That's new. We still needed that one.
Yeah.
Mr. Burre, what is proposed Exhibit 18?
Yes.
Have you seen proposed Exhibit 18 on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the hashtag Quads for Kids is? That's referenced in the text.
Seems that everybody that donates to his cause financially will post a gym progress book.
Okay. And to your understanding, does this involve communicating with Lancaster High School students?
Yes.
Mr. Burre, Exhibit 19, again, take a moment to briefly review that. Okay. And is this a Facebook post that you've seen on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And there's some commentary at the very bottom. Do you see that?
Yes.
Can you read that at the bottom? Where it says too many?
Too many names to list. Attorneys, judges, cops, sheriffs, law directors, prosecutors, judges, magistrates, courts administrators, CPS directors. You will be held accountable.
Okay. And your wife is a one-time CPS director here in Fairfield County?
At one time, yes.
Mr. Burre, I'm going to hand you proposed Exhibit 20. Can you please take a moment and look at proposed Exhibit 20?
Yes.
And is this a Facebook post that you reviewed on Mr. Utt's Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And what context do you take from this Facebook post?
Mr. Utt is communicating with students at Lancaster High School, interfering with my employment, my place of employment, telling kids what to do in a building. Also mentioning that myself and my wife and my son is committing multiple acts at school functions, which is just not true.
Did you gain knowledge that Mr. Utt was on school property handing out these wristbands?
Yes.
And how did you come to that knowledge?
It was reported to me by our school resource officer.
Okay. And again, this is after you had obtained a temporary CPO against Mr. Utt?
Yes, this would have been last Tuesday, the 13th.
Mr. Burre, I'm handing to you what I marked as Exhibit 21. What is Exhibit 21?
Signs posted, or one of the signs posted 2 mornings ago on and around our campus.
Was this yesterday morning? So today's Thursday. Was it Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning?
Been yesterday morning.
Okay. Is this a photo you took?
Did not.
Did somebody within your administration take the photo
Yes.
and they provided it to you?
Yes.
So that was yesterday?
Yes.
Handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 22. What is Exhibit 22?
2 more signs posted, speaking justice for my family, posted on our message board outside.
Okay. And did somebody within your administration provide that to you?
Yes.
Okay. And when were these signs posted?
They appeared yesterday morning.
I'm handing you what I've marked as proposed Exhibit 23. Can you please review Exhibit 23?
Yes.
And what is Exhibit 23?
More signs with the seeking justice for my family with the what appears to be bullet holes of blood coming out, posted on and around our campus the other morning.
With respect to the TPO, the temporary TPO that you obtained in November 28, 2023, are you aware that as part of that order, Mr. Utt was not to attempt to harm, threaten, follow, stalk, or harass you or your family while that temporary CPO was in place?
Yes.
Were you aware that under the temporary CPO, Mr. Utt was not to enter or interfere with your business or place of employment, including the buildings, grounds, and parking lots?
Yes.
As part of the temporary CPO that you received, were you aware that Mr. Utt was not to intimidate or have any contact with you at your business or place of employment?
Yes.
Since you received the temporary CPO, has Mr. Utt continued to post about you and your family on social media?
Yes, and even escalated doing so.
Okay. And again, this is even after receiving the temporary CPO?
Yes.
Mr. Burre, do you fear for your own safety from Mr. Utt?
Absolutely.
Why?
We're going back of over a year and a half of hundreds of social media posts regarding my family, seeking justice from my family, taking things into his own hands, posting signs that are extremely concerning, with blood, very concerning obsessive behaviors, a narrative of events that have occurred that just aren't accurate. I don't know what he'll do next. I don't know what he'll escalate to next. I thought a temporary CPO at the beginning of December would curtail things. It's only escalated into worse, to interfering with my place of employment.
And the Facebook posts that you've reviewed and we've marked as exhibits, that's not all of them, correct?
No,
Okay, I mean, that's just a smattering.
small smattering.
Okay, and your testimony is there's probably over 100 Facebook posts within the last year about you, your family, and your minor children.
Well over 100, yes.
Do you fear for the safety of your wife?
Absolutely.
Why?
His claim of my wife maliciously prosecuting him and selling his kids into foster care, and the fact of the post of not heroes wearing capes murdering a public official. My wife will not come in this community on her own.
And she's told you that?
Absolutely.
Because she's fearful?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do you fear for the safety of your family, including your children?
Absolutely.
Why?
The continuous claims against my minor child, seeking justice. I don't know what that is. I believe that happened through the legal system. I have no idea what this guy would do if he would see my minor son.
Okay. And your son has been adjudicated through the juvenile system, correct?
Absolutely.
Your Honor, I have no further questions on direct for Mr. Burre, but I would like to move the exhibits into evidence at this time.
All right.
Thank you.
Sir, any objections to the exhibit?
No objections. I find this is all about Facebook. I do have lots of questions for Mr. Burre. Is that your name?
Well,
I'm
hold on, let
Chris.
me just,
Okay, go ahead.
I guess no
Sorry, Your Honor.
objections, so all the exhibits will be admitted as such. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you look at all those exhibits? You still have them in front of you, Mr. Burre? Okay, we're going to go through them real quick. Out of those exhibits, can you find an exhibit where he makes a direct threat to you or your family?